Our artisans, they need to do 4 years of training to be able to manufacture a Kelly bag. This that you've just seen, the perlage, you need to be very skilled and very, very good.
Some of Hermès products are made in China. Towels are from Fuyue in Shandong. They also make products for Chanel and IKEA. Beddings are from Yue in Shandong. Men's shoes are from Shachi in Shandong. Tableware are from Gaochun in Jiangsu.
It was my first time shopping at Hermès, and let me tell you how it went.
We got a lot of requests, do Hermès next. And that's why we're here in the Highland Park Mall.
Made in Italy, made in China, or maybe made in Chile. Oh yeah, that should be a thing, by the way, because some brands get real creative when it comes to made in logo.
Hermès is scrambling. The truth about made in France bags is out, and it's not Prada luxury fashion is having a serious identity crisis right now. At the center of it all, Hermès, the ultra-exclusive French brand known for its Birkin and Kelly bags, which cost more than some people's cars. But now, Hermès is in full-blown panic mode, not because of counterfeiters or cheap dupes, but because of something much more damaging. The people who actually make their bags are speaking out. Recently, a number of Chinese manufacturers, the very same ones Hermès trusted to help build their iconic bags, have blown the whistle on what really goes on behind the scenes. These factories weren't making fake versions of luxury products. They were producing the real deal, the same Birkin bags that can sell for $20,000 or more. And now, they're exposing Hermès for how these bags are actually made. For years, Hermès has carefully crafted its image around exclusivity and old-world craftsmanship. Their advertising and even their official statements suggest that every bag is handmade in France by master artisans. You're supposed to picture a skilled French worker, probably in a clean white coat, carefully stitching leather in a quiet workshop with some classical music in the background. That's the dream they sell. But reality? Very different. It turns out a huge portion, some reports say up to 80% of Hermès so-called made in France bags are actually manufactured in China, not just assembled, completely produced. The leather is cut there, stitched there, dyed, lined, and put together in Chinese factories. Once they're nearly finished, Hermès allegedly ships them back to France, where a final button or logo is added, allowing them to legally stamp them with Made in France. When this information started going public, with receipts and proof to back it up, Hermès went into damage control. But rather than admit the truth, they chose to file lawsuits. They're now suing multiple Chinese factories, accusing them of breaching contracts and defaming the company's image. Essentially, Hermès is saying, "How dare you tell the truth about how we really make our bags?" But the cat's already out of the bag. One of the biggest voices behind this revelation is Tanner Leatherstein, a leather expert with a massive online following. He's become famous for literally buying luxury bags and cutting them open on camera to show what's inside, the quality of the leather, the stitching, the inner materials, everything. And what he's found is shocking, according to Tanner. Many of these high-end bags, including those from Hermès, Louis Vuitton, and Chanel, are made from the same or even lower quality leather than bags you can find for a couple $100s. He claims that a Birkin bag, which can retail for $15,000 or more, only costs around $600 to make. That includes good quality leather and hardware. So where does the rest of the price come from? Branding, perception, and a whole lot of marketing. Magic. Tanner has spent more than $100,000 of his own money buying and dissecting these bags, not because he hates fashion, but
So Hermès has put out a response to China, and they have like a video in a factory sort of showing people trying to show that they're actually the ones who are making the bags in a factory somewhere in France.
because he wanted to understand what makes a $20,000 bag worth it. And what he found, over and over again, was that the price had little to do with quality and everything to do with the illusion of luxury. When you really think about it, it doesn't add up. Hermès made $15.2 billion in revenue in 2024. If their bags are supposedly handcrafted by small teams in France, how are they producing and selling that many? There just aren't enough hands in French workshops to make that happen. The math doesn't lie, and neither do the growing number of whistleblowers and insiders coming forward. But Hermès isn't alone. This same tactic is used across the luxury fashion world. Brands like Chanel, Louis Vuitton, and Prada have also been known to make the vast majority of their products in China, then add one final detail in Europe like a zipper or logo, just so they can legally call it made in.
They take almost finished bags from China factories back to their own factories and just do the repackaging and logo installing, something like that.
In Italy or made in France. And why do they do this? Because the words made in France or made in Italy carry an air of prestige and craftsmanship. Most consumers believe that products from these places are better, higher quality, more stylish, more desirable. But the truth is, Chinese factories today are among the best in the world. They're equipped with cutting-edge technology, skilled workers, and decades of experience producing luxury goods. In fact, many so-called dupes or replicas are made in the exact same factories as the originals. The only difference? The logo. One creator on TikTok even revealed that she bought UGG boots for $5 from a Chinese factory that also made the authentic ones. The only thing missing? The brand label. There are also reports of factory extras items made by the same workers, with the same materials, that don't have logos and are sold for a fraction of the price. The line between real and fake is becoming increasingly blurry, and consumers are catching on. As this information spreads, resale values for high-end bags are starting to dip. Collectors are starting to question what they're really paying for. If a Birkin bag isn't actually made entirely in France, if the leather is the same as a cheaper alternative, and if the craftsmanship isn't what it's promised.
These boots right here. This is pretty much the UGG boot that like most Americans will have in their house. I was very pissed off when I found out the truth because I grew up in Southern California. I remember being in elementary school when I would only see 2 people in the entire school wearing UGG boots, and they were always the cool surfer kids.
Promised to be. Then what's the point of spending $25,000? The luxury industry has long painted China as a source of poor quality goods, while selling the idea that Europe equals quality and status. But that's outdated thinking. In today's world, a well-made product can come from anywhere and often does. What this scandal really shows is that luxury branding is more about perception than reality. The companies behind these big names are often backed by private equity. Firms and big investors focus more on profit than heritage. They rely on storytelling.
It's the Chinese supply behind product. Bags are from Sitong Handbag in Dongguan City, Guangdong Province. It's a factory specializing in handbags for 54 years, and it produces 80% of the world luxury bags.
Selective transparency, and our willingness to believe the dream they sell. And now,
Birkin, am I right?
Yeah. I couldn't even be mad at her because when I asked her, I was like, I wanted to see if she was going to tell me the truth. I was like, Coach, did you draw mommy's purse?
with people like Tanner Leatherstein pulling back the curtain, the dream is fading. Tanner isn't trying to sell anything. He's
This one here is really special. If my house was on fire, I would take this one out of all of them.
not making designer bags or pushing dupes. He's just showing people.
Unbox my latest Hermes bag with me. This is my first bag I got this year. I usually get 1 bag a year, and this is the one for this year. And I'm really excited about it.
What they're actually buying with full honesty, detail, and receipts. His work is a wake-up call. It challenges the idea that high price equals high quality. It makes consumers think twice before dropping thousands of dollars on a brand name. And it's causing real fear inside the luxury industry. So what?
I've been speaking to this client here regarding selling her Birkin 30 Gris Etaine, if I'm not wrong. Gris Etaine is the color, and it's palladium hardware. The bag is in box fresh condition, but it's SUES stamp, which means it's a 2021 piece.
Happens next? That's up to us. As shoppers get smarter and demand more transparency, brands will be forced to change. The era of blind loyalty to luxury labels might be coming to an end. And in its place, a new era of informed, empowered consumers who care more about what's inside the bag than the name on the outside.
First of all, you have to be Hermes customers. You have to demonstrate that you like the brand.
None of this jewelry on my arm is real. Don't love me because of no diamonds. Take all this. This bracelet right here look real as a... This shit was $23 on Amazon.